Welcome back. We are now through our little intermission, and anyways, so Chor, my final question is for you, and it is a compound question. So you're an African American man.
Mm,
Iboga is a part of your cultural roots.
mm.
So here are the question. I wrote them down because I wanted them to be very clear. How did this influence your first encounters with Iboga, and what impact has connecting with Iboga had on your sense of self and cultural identity? Especially with reconnecting to this part of your heritage. And this is the last part of the compound question. What impact do you see the disconnection from cultural heritage having on modern African American communities in the United States?
Oh, geez. I saw this question. I was like, this is probably the best question out of the whole thing. Let me just start it off like this. When we went to go do Iboga in Costa Rica with Bagunda, shaman, right? He was, the teachings that he was teaching during fire ceremony it was like I was having deja vu from growing up with my dad and my grandfather, because they were totally militant about the truth and about honesty and about loving yourself and about just like making it happen. I mean, like, the dude was just saying the same things my grandfather and my father were saying, and the men in my family were saying on my father's side and on my African side. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? Like, are you kidding me? Like, it's just like I heard this stuff before. I grew up with this stuff. So to me, it told me right there, especially even Iboga told me that this is in your blood. Like, this is your life. This is in your blood. Like, this has been in your blood. And I was like, wow. Mm-hmm. So, going to Africa, I felt like I was going home. And it was like, just felt one with the bush. Like, I'm just like, wow, like this is amazing, And even though it can be trying at times, and because we're so complacent and comfortable with Westworld, I'll be happy to come back home to America, but I love it there. It's the roots. It's just like you just feel one with the earth, with Africa. Like, it's amazing. Even though all of it was connected at one point, and it's all the same land. It's all Africa. It's all the earth, all the same earth. There's just something there from where it started from. And that's the bush. It ain't Africa. Nothing started in Africa. It started in the bush. Life started in the bush. So, that being said, it just connected me with my roots. So, to your next question, when it comes to the African cultures, African American culture, since we are so bombarded with the distractions, like I said earlier, and certain ways of living and mentalities, from slavery on down, just definitely like brainwashed African American culture, or Africans, period. So, but they still have it in their blood. It's still in their blood when it comes to the roots from Africa. There's no doubt about it. Mm. But I'm not going to tell you that they don't need it. That they definitely need Iboga in their life. I don't care what color you are. Everybody should at least visit or engage with Africa at least one time in their life.
Yeah.
At least one time. Specifically African Americans, but I don't care what color you are. It doesn't matter. If you have 1% African blood in your body, you're African.
It's like everybody.
That's everybody. So you should embrace Africa.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the African American culture not like loving themselves and taking on these distractions and living certain ways, you know, we can post blame on things that have happened. But it's time to look aside that and climb up, keep climbing, keep going, keep striving to the top, you know. And I know, like if we in Westworld and within the African American culture or any culture embraced the roots, embraced like the rite of passage, embraced initiation, brought that within our cultures, this whole world would be a way better place. Be a different place, showing certain respects towards the elements, towards the senses, towards their life, which is all in one. So, and they all run in threes. So if we did that, I'm speaking for the African American culture, it would definitely change some mentalities on what's going on. And honestly, you know, growing up within that culture, like they definitely are in tune with the African culture. But it's bombarded with, you know, a bunch of other things that are going on here in Westworld. You know, and it has to deal with a lot of complacency and being comfortable with, you know, certain ways of living. And we need to look beyond that.
Yeah, that, and we're still living in systemic racism, and we're still having Nazis crawl out of the woodwork and make their stand. That's still present. Still dealing with historical grief. Like there's still a lot to work through and heal.
There's a lot of trauma, PTSD, if you want to call it.
Yeah.
That is within the African American cultures. Yes, definitely they can benefit from this medicine, you know, just as well as any other culture would. And, you know, that's basically my advice is like, not everyone's going to make it. So, you know, you better hop on it now. You better like, you know, take a look, at least take a look, at least take a look.